Good evening. Good evening. Good afternoon. Good morning, whatever the case may be. Welcome to Art of the Hero with Mike S. Miller. I am going to be doing some drawing. So, another day, another drawing stream. It is an art channel. It is an art channel. Sometimes I have to remind myself that it's an art channel. That means I have to provide artistic things of art and stuff on occasion. Let's see. Let us see. Darn it, the comments are not coming through on StreamYard again. What is the deal with StreamYard? Came here for the Pewdiepie, says Jiminy Cricket. Well, I didn't say he's here now. I said, God, look how dirty my shirt's. Cat hair and whatever that is. Yeah, Pewdiepie was here earlier. Yes, on the previous episode. On my channel. Where is he now? I don't know. I went over to his stream. So what I did was he was showing up in the chat. So I went and I clicked on the chat or on his name in the chat because I'm like, this was really Pewdiepie. And then I followed it to his channel, and lo and behold, it was PewDiePie's channel. Like the legit, PewDiePie. And then I saw this. It's been real, but I'm out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, did you leave? And my son's like, he's just taking a break. I'm like, oh. And then I went and I talked to Ian Miles Chong because I know he knows PewDiePie. And they're in like Gamergate together or whatever. And so I'm like, did you tell him to come check out my channel? And he's like, nope. He's like, but that's cool.
Oh, you're
so
making mine crystals now.
So cool. I think it's pretty cool anyways. And between then and now, by the way, I sold this piece. Or I sold the original. Anyways. I didn't sell the digital copy. I printed it out. I inked it up. It's good to go. And it has been sold. So very nice. Thank you. So things have been afoot since I just ended the show. I think he voted Lopresti. Oh. Right in the heart, Mecca. Right in the heart. You know what, though? Aaron hasn't sold his piece yet. So, $50 confirmed. Yeah, no. It was more than that. I set the price, and he accepted. So, that's a playlist he made, not actual uploads. But it's his channel. That's the point. No, that was me clicking on his playlist. I was clicking around on his channel. Should be at your email. All right, cool. Got it. Back on now. Jing. What the heck is this? Updated version to watch. Magnetic charging cable. Huh? I don't get it. All right, where are we? No check mark, no pewds. It's not. So you're saying that somebody who has millions and millions of views on their own channel. Where did I put that? Videos, home.
Sweet home house.
I use different videos.
Look at me.
3.1 million views. This is home. This isn't playlists.
Like videos.
I know, but it's nothing on the videos, but it's on the home.
Maybe a fake account then.
How does he have a fake account with videos with 5.3 million views, 3.1 million views?
Uploads from Pewdiepie.
Uploads from
Click
PewDiePie.
on the name.
Oh, it's been real, but I'm out. All right, I've been defrauded. I'm such a sucker. PewDiePie doesn't have a check mark. It's easy to make an account with a similar name. Oh, and then people. Yeah, that was a weird thing. He came on, he didn't, or whoever it was, he came on and didn't. There was no. If he sends you nudes, it's real. No, Bianca, you're such a dirty young man. Yeah, I know it doesn't do that, but that was the thing. I went to the channel and it was all that stuff. So, what a sucker! What a sucker! Probably a troll. You meant the one in chat. What? Fud says zombies. You meant the one in chat. Delete stream. This is a farce. Nah, I'll just change the name. I already started it. Let's see. Let's go to YouTube Studio. Retitle the stream. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Where's videos?
Where's his
Live.
laptop?
Live.
Oh, he moved it.
PewDiePie was not here.
Burned them to ashes. Brings the standard size.
Fixed. Fixed. All right. I'm looking at his page now, 102 million, but no check mark. If Mike believes it, it's true. I wish that were the case, but it's not. I'm looking at it with a check mark. Okay, you guys are arguing now. Are there like, how many PewDiePie channels are there? Bow, bow, bow. So somebody who bothered making that a channel was here. All right, I'm going to tell Ian. Nah, it was a fraud. Nah, was a fraud.
Oh no, he has halberd ears.
All right. Where is that thing?
Where are those arrows coming from?
Man, why did it?
Oh,
It's like
longbow man.
freaking hot in here.
Oh my gosh, I'm taking the
Look at those longbow men destroying like a siege.
House of the
Don't fire
Dragon.
to your bit.
Oh,
group.
yeah, I already saw that.
You're gonna kill all your troops.
All right, where are we
That's
at
such a
now?
waste of paladins.
What's up, Dale Stafford? Who cares about that new crypto comics is here? It's true. Okay, change name. Name changed. Now let me get back to my channel.
Get to those longbow men. Those are actually doing some damage.
I need to start drawing this stuff. All right.
We're taking out their bases. We're taking out our
How late am I now? Let's see. Why isn't this telling me how late? Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. 9 minutes and 49 seconds. You're good. You're good.
just in case they did.
Very good.
I'd rather watch crypto than PewDiePie. I'll draw all the comics immediately. My God. All right. I'm working on it. I know. I'm already tired. It's already 11 o'clock. But I got to do what I got to do. All right. Let me save this. Save this. Oh, shoot. Wrong thing. Cancel.
Did you lose all of your paladins, Micah?
Yeah.
Cancel.
You don't use paladins
Save.
and halberdiers. It's a bad trait.
I know. I was already making them.
You
And
need
the
to make
halberd ears
some
popped
arch-
up.
If you had some more archers.
Maybe if I had some more money.
How much
File.
gold did you
Open
lose?
recent.
I lost a lot. They took out our whole.
You need
Open.
These guys aren't even doing anything for some reason.
more trade cards.
What did this one break?
You know what sucks if I deleted that freaking page. MAGA 12. All right, cool. I am where I thought I was. Zoom.
All
So
the-
I am working on this image of Dr. Savage.
Okay.
Dr. Savage. All right.
Okay, bye.
Okay,
Don't send hustlers.
Do, 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 do. I need a way to see my keyboard better.
Okay, we got one.
Dun, dun, dun.
But they took one of our guys. No.
All right.
We got all of them. It's just this guy left.
He's gonna let so many hustlers do this.
What does the back of a hat look like? Yeah, I guess I could do it like this. All right.
Oh no, they're converting.
Oh, I forgot to send Terry the link.
This guy's like, I think it was one of the guys.
There's stiff in between. Oh man.
Are they not going? I'll look at this.
Ah, man. That sucks. Can't believe somebody who makes so much money, stiffing a guy over $300.
Come on, don't let
It's
them
just not
die.
classy. Penny pinches, penny pinches. All right, here we go.
Blue by himself is gonna take.
Mm.
Wait, sell stuff.
All right. You're talented. You should get into graphic design or comics or something. Are you guys just having a conversation? Is Soros the final boss? Soros is the final boss. I mean,
Oh,
the
my
Sorosian
God.
is the final boss. I do have like,
Attack!
what is that? Oh, beans. I dropped some beans on my black shirt. And he's showing up.
Actually doing this.
What's actually happening on this stream? Mike seems lost in the sauce. Did he drink 2 beers this evening? No. I'm just trying to get. I need to get this page done at the very least. I'd like to get a couple pages done a day. Is that Heisenberg? 9 is not Heisenberg. It's Terry Huddleston's Berg.
I'm like the anti-Heisenberg. I have a head full of hair. I got the glasses though.
You do. So this is Dr. Savage. Dr. Savage.
Got the not Fred Savage. What's Mike Savage? His name?
Michael Savage, that's right.
Yeah. He's one of those guys I've never listened to. Like,
Oh, really?
like I couldn't even tell you what his thoughts on anything are. I mean,
Smart guy. He's conservative, but he's not a water carrier. He calls crap out when he sees that it's wrong. It doesn't matter. He's got no loyalties to anybody.
yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm not. Man, you should, because I'm sure you're thinking like, oh man, I get with a bunch of people on the left. I'm just like, yeah, it's a big sausage fest, but no, like they hate me too. They really, you are like soft compared to them.
Well, they don't like people thinking for themselves.
Nobody does. See, I don't think that's
I do.
it's zealotry. That's what it is. Like it's a.
I do. I
It's
like
a-
people
it's a-
thinking for themselves. I get really bored talking to people in an echo.
Same here, man. Same here.
Super bored. What am I looking for? Oh yeah. Trying to remember where I put my own stinking reference.
Womp womp womp.
I know. I know.
Faruka.
Any other ways you can think of to alienate yourself from my audience?
Oh yeah, I got plenty. Plenty. I mean, I'm not doing it on purpose. It's not I'm gonna find out whatever you love. I'm gonna be against it. It's just how I am. It comes from not having to, like, basically I've been working for myself for 13 years, and you like forget how to people please. You know what I mean? Like, I know how to do it to a degree, but at the same time, I'm just used to doing whatever the heck I want to do and say what I want to say without having to like, oh no, that's gonna cost me this, or that's gonna, that's gonna make people do that. That's why I don't really do a lot of punditry, so to speak, online where I'm trying to push an agenda, because I really don't. I'm not here to convince anybody of anything, like I told you before in a private conversation.
Say what you mean what you say.
Yeah, I'm not here to like, hey, I have all these factoids that are gonna, convince you.
You don't have your
right.
talking points ready, Terry?
I do not. Is this the link? Pewdiepie was not here. Yep, that's what it was. Okay, I found it. I learned that trick a long time ago. Well, early in our thing is go to the YouTube page, because the actual stream is way off when it comes to what's actually being showed.
Yep.
So yeah, didn't like Joker. If that makes him happy.
I don't understand how you couldn't.
I understood it. It just wasn't. It just didn't move me. It just didn't move me, man. Maybe
it was so well done. What are you talking?
It was like a well done mediocre message, is what I'm saying. Like it didn't.
See, that's the thing. You're so concerned about the message.
Well, that's what people were railing about. Like, oh my God, it's gonna cause mass shootings, and it's so subversive.
Oh, I don't listen to them.
And I'm like, no, I'm saying from either side. I'm like, it's really not that edgy. Like, this is great value edginess to me.
It was a great movie.
You can get this edginess from Walmart.
It was art, man. It was art.
I mean, obviously, a lot of people disagree with me and agree with you, but I personally thought it was very vanilla in what it was doing. Like it just refused to not let you like the guy. Like it just was like, look how much of a victim he is. Because whenever I talk to people, they're like quick to defend him.
You know what it was? It was you watched Naruto, right?
Say what now?
You watched Naruto?
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
All right, it was the penultimate episode of Naruto, like when they go in and you've been fighting this evil dude for the whole story.
Yeah.
And the second to last episode, right before Naruto kills him, they tell his story.
And that's such a anime does that cheap trick all the time. Like, oh, guess what? He was abused as a kid, and and now you feel sorry. To me, I consider that emotional manipulation.
We're still gonna kill him, but we just want to know.
But now you feel bad about it. And really, if you want to think about it, our godfather George Lucas kind of put that trope in the anime sphere with Darth Vader. Like last minute, you're like, oh no, I'm just a frail old man after all. Like, what, dude? You were like the biggest bad guy, and at the 11th hour, then they redeem you. So it is what it is. If done right, it works. If not, then and I think they definitely wanted to pull off a perspective trick that just didn't fly for me. It just I didn't dig it.
I'm doing it in Lone Star with the third issue.
Lone Star. Well, any like justice driven character, you can set up that trope pretty easily, because it's like we're on their side. We're looking at muggers mugging people. It's the same thing I was talking about with the Joker. Like, look at these bad people being ultra bad. Like, they're just terrible. What was I watching? I was watching a cartoon, and some girl was getting like beat up and raped in the streets. And I'm like, that's such a thing you only see in comic book stuff. Like, like where somebody's just they're just going to do it right out there in the street. And if Batman didn't show up, then, this would have happened. And I'm like, man, like we really cartoonize crime, when in reality, I want to see a Batman that go beats up a bunch of these, bad investors and people that are, these more like uppity white collar crime. But it's like we're always beating up street level guys. That's kind of what made Mr. Robot cool, because he went after pretty much white collar criminals, and made them basically pay for their crimes. Well, it was a more interesting superhero TV show, even though you wouldn't call it that on the surface. That's exactly what it was. It even had a supervillain. I don't know if you watch Mr. Robot at all.
You have this weird concept that crime doesn't happen.
I don't have this weird concept. I've had a home invasion when people put gun in my face. Like, I know it happens, but the way we kind of fetishize crime, like it's this viral problem that's just waiting for somebody to go out there and take care of it, it sends this mythology with crime. Because most of the time with crime, it's you're in the wrong place, wrong time. That's one. Two, it's a family member that knows you got some good stuff in your house and they're kind of not great people, and they come in, and it's not like these random strangers that just commit crazy acts of violence, right? Like even with the most horrendous crimes we have today, which is school shootings, it's like the guy is still going to his school. Like he's not going to like a random school with kids he don't know. So it's not like the stranger danger that I think has been promoted is overinflated, I guess is what I'm getting at.
I would agree because, just statistically, we are safer than we were when we were kids, and we felt safe when we were kids, but they've like put the freaking all the crime on 24-hour news blast.
It is
all the time, and so we feel like we're not safe.
We do, exactly. And that's pretty much my point in a nutshell. It's like we feel like it's more racist than ever. Right.
That crime still happens, and that makes for good stories.
Well, there you go. But it's just like I said, and what's fair is fair. I say the same thing about issues that people overinflate, like where, yes, I think the police shootings are bad statistically as far as the way it looks. But at the same time, I don't feel like every cop shooting like 10 black people. Right. But that's how it's portrayed. Like it's like they're just the worst of the worst of the worst. But yeah, do they have some people in the police force that do make terrible decisions?
Yeah, you know what? Remember the old adage of if it bleeds, it leads.
Well, sure, yeah, that's super old.
If it bleeds, it leads. But if it's got any racial tinge to it at all, it doesn't just lead. It is on a 24-hour news cycle for 3 weeks.
Well, that's what we talked about too. I mean, now I think the problem. The reason why we're able to exploit that is because we don't have conversations like this enough. Like right now, me and you are having a civil conversation about race. Mm-hmm. We're not lobbing bombs and all that. So anytime anybody even brings up the R word, like your walls go up. It's like, whatever you say, I got like 10 counterpoints to not agree with what you have to say about race. Whereas to me, I'm trying to get people to realize that race is important, sure, but class is actually the more powerful ism. Like a rich black person is going to look down on a poor black person the same as a rich white person is going to look down on a poor white person. Like there's not going to be any solidarity across the race lines. Like, oh, well, you're black and we're both white. Come on here. Like, no, like the class systems actually have more power and sway in our country than
you've seen the documentary Trading Places.
There you go. There you go. I mean, there was a time where poverty intersected with race. And so when you go, man, those poor people, those welfare queens, people, in the back of their mind, they knew what those pundits were talking about.
I don't know of a time in the history of America when poverty intersected with race.
Okay. All right. Like I said, I'll let you not know that. Yeah, they call it this.
Most of the poor people in America have not been white for its entire history.
You say most of the poor people have not been white for its entire history.
Yeah. Now you may say that since the 20s or 30s, a higher percentage of blacks have been poor. But when you're only 14% of the population.
Right. Because people I think we're saying the same thing then.
Huh?
I think we're saying the same thing.
Possible.
I'm saying when you can conflate, like just like when oh God, what was the moderator of the last Drawn and Quartered?
Good one.
When he said inner city, like what that's a code for. Like you can pretend like you don't know what it's a code for, but inner city schools means black schools, right? Like urban means black areas because they intersect. But what I was going to say to my other point is that demographic has changed.
And so, that demographic also depends on what state you're talking about.
Oh, for sure.
Right? Because in California, inner city usually would be preponderant, mostly Mexican.
Right. Well, still.
In Hawaii, it's mostly Hawaiians.
Right. But when it's usually when it's used, like normally, like 9 times out of 10, when they use that nomenclature to specify where the school is.
If you're in Chicago, that's what they're talking
Yeah, they're trying to say a thing like inner city kids are scoring lower than kids in the suburbs, and you're like, oh, okay, all right. But like I said, that statistic is starting to shift to where if you just say that lower class people of every stripe, because if you go inner city crime is different than just crime. Like you start to kind of draw these lines, or inner city education is different than just education. So people kind of get these subtle us and them vibes from just the way we use language. You know what I mean? It kind of erodes.
But I think the reality of that has far more to do with overtaxed education systems than any particular race.
It definitely should. I told you, I think the education system is
we're in agreement on
it. It's beyond broken. So I don't care what race, creed, or color you are. That system is not good for anybody. But to intrinsically to say that like basically because you're of a certain racial demographic, it kind of implies like you're just not going to be as smart as a person that's not. Yeah, on paper, on math, you kind of have this cover to be like, I can say that because the numbers pan out. But what I'm saying, this is the grand thesis of what I'm saying, it's usually has to do with class. Like poor people are less educated than people that have means, is what you should be saying. But that's not what gets said. And so it gets conflated that pretty much black and brown kids are stupid and white kids are smart, which isn't true.
No, it's just Jewish and Asian kids that are smart, Terry.
There you go.
That's actually a statistical truth.
A lot of consolidated wealth in those communities too.
I think it's got, I don't know. I think it's probably cultural.
I mean, it definitely for sure, but you don't hear about poor Jewish communities like those ghetto. I mean, other than the actual where the word came from, ghetto, you don't hear about these, terrible Jewish communities and people are moving out when the Jews move in. Like, that's not how that goes. Like, but once again, if you get stuck on the what race they are, you're losing the argument already, because does that culture have money in it? And if it does, then they're going to do better per capita. And you could talk about a lot of different things, but to me, if you're not talking money, then you ain't making sense. So hopefully that didn't piss too many people off, but
No, I don't. Dog says if your community has high crime rates, there will be more confrontation with cops and more chances of facing an overzealous cop. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. You
can't argue.
That's the thing. But I think people, like I said, they assume that certain areas, but with meth, let's say for instance, that changed the whole thing. That's out in the country. That's out in rural America. That's when you actually started hearing the word a lot. Like,
San Diego was the meth capital of the world for a really long time.
Yeah, it just kind of migrated, and so a lot of these arguments we need to get off of that as a singularity. By that I mean just like a racial thing, and just realize like, hey man, it goes back to what I've been saying consistently. Like, we need to find a way to make people rich. Like, we just got to find a way to make more people in America richer. I'm just gonna come out and say it. I ain't saying we got to redistribute wealth and let's rob the rich and give it to the poor per se, but if we can't figure out an education system to get people there, or some kind of mechanism to get people to go from zero to hero, then we're going to be in trouble in the future.
Yeah, people need to be trained, though. People need to be trained on how to make and maintain wealth, because it's just a reality. If you took all the money away from all the not the people who were born rich, but the people that earned their wealth. You take all the money away, and you just give them all, $500,000. In 5 years, the rich people are going to be rich again.
Yeah.
The poor people are going to have spent it all. A very small percentage of them will have used it to invest or whatever. It's just that's why people who win the lottery almost always lose all that money.
Sure. Well, so what I'm saying is, but here's the thing though. Let's say, because this is actually a conversation I definitely wanted to relitigate. Like, because people are like, if let's say you did do a communist, fascist, whatever you want to call it thing, and just for the sake of my argument, you just gave out a bunch of money to people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like basically, people are like that money's just gonna get lost in a black hole. That money's going right back to corporations. They're gonna go buy their cars and fur coats and diamond rings and spend irresponsibly. It's people like you and me where the money's wasted because we're gonna hoard it and use it, spend it wisely, and invest in this and that, and use it to basically make ourselves a cushion, right? So, I don't believe this. If you give people a bunch of money, then it's like throwing away. Like that nobody's going to benefit more than McDonald's. Walmart's going to see a boom in their stocks because everybody's going to be shopping because they all got money. So it's a myth. I think
what's going to happen is you're going to cause inflation.
Oh well, yeah, to a degree, sure.
Well, you can't just add money unless you're literally taking it from somebody else.
And that's the whole thing.
Add money to the system without it causing.
And I personally like we conjure up money so much for a lot of other systems.
Oh, I lost it.
But whenever, I'm repeating myself, but whenever it comes to people, there's always a million and one reasons why we shouldn't. But to fund a war, we're borrowing money from overseas.
But there are people like me, Ron, the libertarian, whatever. We don't want us conjuring money for anything.
Sure. I get you. I get you. But I live in an RPG called the real world, and shoot, I look. Inflation is a possibility that can happen without them giving us a bunch of money, let's say, per se. Like, well, I'm not gonna like if they say just pass a law, pass a law that Mike, because you have 5 kids, you're getting $5,000 a month. What, you're not gonna be like, well, I'm not taking. You're gonna take that money.
I am.
Yeah, like okay, and look, thank you for your honest answer. I'm gonna burn it on YouTube and be a tryhard. No, that'd be foolish. And if the system fell out like it has for many other reasons and many other times, then it fell out. But I will have had at least a year of getting $5K a week. Man, that would change my life in so many crazy trajectories I couldn't even tell you. So obviously that's a pipe dream. So I'm not saying that I'm even advocating for that, but it's definitely something to think about in a positive way and not this negative. Well, what if the crack baby mamas get it and they cause them to like, yeah, dude, that's already gonna happen. Like people that want to be losers are gonna figure out a way to lose no matter what the system is.
That's true.
So I'm just saying, give us people that want to try to work the system at least a helping hand. I mean, maybe even a marriage credit or something. Like, hey, you're married with those kids. Here's some money. I know I'm talking out of my butt, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
incentivize people to actually have nuclear families together.
Yeah, I'm all for that, man. And here's where the left hate me, because I'm sick of people acting like we make people. We're the people that make people. I don't care if you're going to be gay, straight, or whatever. Don't care what affiliation you are, but don't make it seem like hetero people are the enemy. Like we're just the worst thing that ever happened to the planet, when it's like, we make all the people, right? Like all of them, like 100% of them are made by people.
And they blame you for overpopulation, Terry.
Say what now?
Then they blame you for overpopulation.
You can blame me, but they wouldn't be around to blame me if we didn't make a person. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to overemphasize it, but I hate when they kind of underemphasize, like, oh, you're just a pretty much a hetero normie and you're the enemy. I'm like, well, hey, like you got my support, and I'll definitely debate anybody that says you shouldn't have equal rights, but don't act like I'm like the bad guy, and if you just wiped out all of us, then the world will be better, because you'd be like a Quaker and a Shaker. You'd be a one generation species after that, unless they got the test tube things. Then I got no argument. You know, if they, because that's something to think about.
When it costs everybody $50,000 to have a baby, ain't nobody having any babies except for the super rich.
Yeah, hell, they might even have babies in at that rate. But then again, if we still have heirs and passing your money down to somebody, we'll figure out a way. We'll just have
my dad friggin' told me at one time, he's like, my purpose in life is done. I've raised my children to adulthood. I have no purpose anymore. I'm like,
no, there's grandkids.
No. His purpose, because he believed in whatever, just passing the genetic information down.
That's a very Dawkins way of thinking.
Yeah. It wasn't very
I didn't know they could went that far.
Wasn't very hopeful.
Yeah, to me, I'm all about legacy, man. I'm all about the fact that even now my kids can go anywhere in the city where I live, and when my name comes up, nothing but good things happens for them, because I basically paved a road for them that they can travel on without like, oh, Terry Huddleston, oh, that dude sucks. Like, and hopefully they can pass it on to their children, to where the legacy of basically the Huddleston name lives on, and it's more powerful than us as individuals. We're Batman, so to speak. A symbol can live on even if the man is destroyed.
I
don't know where it comes from, but somebody in the chat just said crack baby mamas. They probably were repeating me, actually. I did say that.
I'm pretty sure they were repeating you.
Yep.
Crack baby mamas.
And so if I'm being honest, man, if I hear more talk of self-accountability, like we were talking about before, that perks my ears up. Like, you know what, Mike, you hate President X, right? It's 16 years from now, and you got a president you can't stand. And if you're basing your well-being off of that, then to me, that's a losing thing. But if you're like, you know what, Terry, I have a bunch of philosophies and contingencies that are going to support me no matter what the weather is outside, right? As opposed to like, as long as I get things going my way, then I'll be happy, because I feel like that's a problem with the left right now, is that really the right has it too, but the right has things going their way, so they're happy. But, a few short years ago, they act like it was acid rain coming out of the sky. And now the liberals are acting like it's acid rain coming out of the sky. So, I'm like, man, you guys are going to put yourselves in an early grave with all this stress you're under.
What does that have to do with self-accountability?
Well, self-accountability, I only can be mad at me, right? Like, I make a lot of mistakes in small business, micro business. And when it goes bad, then I got to eat the responsibility. That's right. As opposed to going, oh, it's Trump's fault. Like, how easy is that for me to do? Like, oh, it's Trump's fault that my income went down.
Okay, I'm understanding who is not being self-accountable here.
Dude, you know how many people I hear blame whatever president we got for the reason they're in whatever state of life they're in? Like, it doesn't matter who it is. They blame some upper, like whether it be the mayor, the government, the police. This is always somebody else's overarching systems that's bad, but they're fine. Like, they'd be fine if they can just get this system to change. And I hear that on the left and the right. But I'm like, well, actually, why don't you just adapt to the system as it is and learn to basically exploit the things you could exploit in the system the way it is, as opposed to just waiting for pretty much the weather to change to your liking. Go outside in the rain, I guess is what I'm saying, to keep my analogy going.
Yeah, I just don't feel like you're just making a statement, because I don't feel like you're arguing.
No, not arguing at all.
All right.
Like inside the behind the wall.
Not arguing at all.
Josh Graydon says, "What's up, my people? We are just here having a dialogue and drawing. That's what we do. We dialogue and draw." Josh Graydon says, "People always blame everyone else but themselves. I choose to blame Terry."
There it is. You're going to be blaming me for a good long time. Now, the only people that can blame me for some stuff is my 4 children that have this nose right here. They can blame me for stuff, because it's funny when you look at your children, you're like, ooh, that's my bad temper they have. Like, oh,
Yeah.
You know what? He's got the demeanor of his mom. Whoops, you know. So
Yep.
obviously there's a buck that stopped somewhere, but
Dude, it's crazy how much. I mean, that's not even necessarily learned stuff. That's just genetic, man.
oh yeah,
My nephew, my nephew didn't meet his dad until he was 12 years old. But when I went, I kind of found him on the internet because and long story short, and then we drove out to Louisiana to meet him. And he didn't at the time he didn't know that his dad wasn't his dad. But like,
you mean the dad that was taking care of him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, his mannerisms, the way he laughed, the way his sense of humor, it was like his real dad. It was like dead on. I was like, that's so freaking weird.
Yeah, it is weird. It is weird. Me and my wife often joke because I mean I'm sure you got the same dynamic where some kids are skewed more like you and some kids are skewed more like her.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever you see these mannerisms come up, you're like, you know, that's 100% your fault, babe. You know, look what you did to our son, you know. Yeah. But obviously, if you dish it,
I always do the thing where if there's doing something wrong, look what your son did.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, it's a real sense of pride, though. All my kids are artistic in a way, but my oldest daughter is a really good illustrator, and so you know I'm taking like 1,000% credit for that. Mm-hmm. Even though she's self-taught, I'm like that's on me, you know, even though it isn't. But you know, so it's some good stuff that can get passed down too.
Yeah, my daughter always gets mad when I tell people that I taught her how to draw because she's like, "You didn't teach me how to draw. You just told me to draw, and you gave me these books." I'm like, "That's teaching."
That's exactly what I did. I did the Obi-Wan Kenobi. Here's your dad's lightsaber. All right, go blow up the Death Star. Because I mean, it's not like kung fu where you can basically like train in a field of wheat and do the martial art move and all that. They gotta want to do it, and it's really the passion for art that needs to be facilitated more than taught to anybody. Like, hey, you like to draw a lot to an excessive degree? Hey, I'll support that. You know.
Well, my kids, I made less so the younger ones, but Elijah here and Eden, I made them draw an hour a day.
Same here.
Because I'm like, you know what? It's a skill you can learn that they don't teach in school anymore.
Well, once I saw they had an aptitude for it, I started putting the hooks in. Like, I pretty much wait till my kids are around, 9, 10, 11, 12. And it's like, you know what? You seem like you like video editing. I'm going to start pushing that as your skill set to do. My youngest son is a really good video editor. And I'm like, man, I could use a video editor in the family too. Nice. Mm-hmm. So, I bought him, like, he's got the nicest computer in the house, even better than mine. And I treat my kids like different labs. Like we talked about states, I do the same thing. Like no kid has everything. Like one kid got all the, the iPad and art stuff, and another kid got the computer, and another kid got like the freedom to basically have the whole bottom half of my house, the basement. And so, you kind of get to see the different labs. Like, okay, that didn't work out. Like, I'm going to have to rescind that. I'm going to have to do a mixture of this for this kid. Then my last kid is she's the Omni kid. She's pretty much a mixture of everybody. I've just basically consigned myself that she's probably going to be my caretaker. So I better be real nice to her.
Where's your wife? How come she never pops up on these streams?
She pops up every now and again. Tells me to shut up about stuff.
That's private, Terry.
No, it ain't even that. She doesn't want me going down certain rabbit holes, which, I'm like when it comes to zealotry, I'm like an ex-alcoholic, man. I've told you, I used to be a big time zealot of whatever, now, like I said, I don't even care enough to care whether or not, but when she sees those old, like, he's tying one on. But, even afterwards, she's like, you did good, babe. It's like, yeah, I feel like it's like my coach afterwards. Like you did good. You juked and jibed, and They didn't land too many hits, but you didn't lose your cool. But like I always say, man, I value friendships over any type of zealotry whatsoever.
Yeah, man. Yeah. How tight are those pants gonna be? They're tight. It's superhero pants, except for he's kind of a bigger dude. So Terry wants that different body types. So
I'm telling you, you're gonna see a lot of cosplay of that popping up.
that would be hilarious to see.
Don't take my word for it, dude. Disney did a complete full movie of Fat Thor. Like you knew, at least I did. I was 100% sure he was gonna revert back to regular Thor, and he did not. I was like, okay, Marvel, you're sticking with this, huh? All right.
I know people who hated that, but
I'm yeah,
like, dude, I know people who've gained freaking. I know a guy who gained probably 200 pounds after his fiance died, and he's been like that for decades. And it's like, man, grief does things to Thor. Just caused the death of the entire universe through screwing up. That kind of grief, he put on weight. What's the big deal? It's like it's grief. It affects everybody differently, and it's an extremely powerful, life-changing emotion. So,
and dude, I'm not exaggerating. That was the #1 cosplay, man. The #1. They were dressed up as pretty much the sweater version, the Big Lebowski Thor. Everywhere.
Funny.
So man, I think it's if you don't go to Comic-Cons like we do, you don't really get to see the fan reaction to things, and that goes both ways. So like I'm like, I didn't like the Joker. Man, there's so much Joker cosplay, and even movies people universally agree on, like Suicide Squad. Tons of Harley Quinn cosplay from that.
Yeah.
But that's about it, though. Nobody else really. Maybe some Jokers every now and again, but very little Deadshot and the rest of the gang.
Well, that movie was horrible.
That movie was quantifiably bad.
Yay! Can't believe you agreed.
Oh, Suicide Squad is terrible. I'm not saying Joker's terrible. I'm just saying it's a little bit overrated.
I don't think so. I think it's a work of art. I don't care about meaning and stuff.
Oh, okay. Cool. There you go.
I think friggin' he played that role so well, and
yeah,
I've seen it like 5 times. So
there it is. Yeah, yeah, there was a time like the first half of the movie, I was there for it. I'm like, all right, okay, this is I dig it, because it also had a memento type effect to it as well. It was very subtle, but it was in there, where you're like, man, this guy, like his brain just is letting him down. Like
well, that's the thing is then when you discover then that he actually does, because in the beginning they give you that little card that says, his condition is usually caused by having.
That's actually what gave the memento effect. Actually, I was like, that kind of reminds me of Memento, where the guy would leave notes for himself, though. But yeah, it lost me when it started to turn up the heat a little bit on just how terrible the terribleness was to him. And I heard the director says that Zazie Beetz' character didn't get killed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I haven't heard him say it personally, but other people referenced the fact that the director said. So I'm sure I can find an interview or something. I'm gonna trust the internet. Just dangerous, but I
feel like she had to be killed in that scene. That's the only.
No, you know what? I did hear him say she didn't die. Actually, I did hear him saying out of his own mouth that she didn't die. But I took it as she got killed personally, just because you saw the sirens coming up, and then they had another call back to well, another situation like that in the end where you see the bloody footsteps.
Yeah.
And it made me wonder if he had a thing for black women. Like, man, why so many black women? Because most of the black women in the thing are there to sort of help him in some capacity. Even the shitty nurse or psychiatrist, whatever she was,
Yeah,
that wasn't listening. And so it's like, man, why? I mean, you can go, he's killing them because he's crazy, but they were kind of setting up the fact that he killed everybody he had a problem with.
Yeah.
And not that he was killing, like even the midget, if you could, is that something you could say? Little person didn't even get killed.
Midget's fine.
Is
Yeah,
midget fine? Okay.
that was this thing. He's like, you're the only person who's been nice to him.
Yeah.
He
So
killed
that
his mother, man.
he killed his mother. Which, you know, that's something.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know.
But no, that's, to me, it's like, you know, there's a guy who's yeah, he's evil, but he's got his brain
He's
damage.
not evil. Like I didn't get it that he was evil. Like I didn't get
that he was evil.
Yeah, he felt like a victim that lashed out. He was more like an anti-hero to a degree. Right? Like, because if it was a Punisher movie, we wouldn't go Punisher's evil, even though, I mean, that's a debate. But I'm just saying, on the face of it, we're like, hey, Punisher should be killing those monsters because, yeah, they're bad people.
He's not killing mobsters. He's killing anybody who's wronged him, and that's evil. Just because somebody does something wrong to you,
I agree with you, but and I'm going to ask you point blank, do you think that your assessment of killing bullies and all that stuff, because they do this in film a lot, like they'll make people ultra terrible, so when they die, you're like, especially in horror movies, right, and slashers, it's like, look how evil that teen girl was, like, so when she dies, you're like, yeah, I'm kind of glad she's dead. They were kind of using that logic in my mind, like you're glad these people are dead. Nobody sympathized for the clown dude that got him fired from his job. Like they made sure to explicitly let you know that he had this coming. And so it didn't feel like an evil act, you know, even though on paper, of course it is, but
I don't know. Maybe my evil meter is set a little to the right of yours or something.
I mean, what's the chat saying? Let's see.
He seemed more
sick and evil. If you like Joaquin Phoenix, then walk the line. Yeah, that was good.
No, to me, it was a character who through the I think that is what I wanted.
Terry reveals his dark past as a Black Panther coming soon.
The circumstances of what was happening to him, he was coming out. It was like a butterfly coming out of the chrysalis, because at the end he murders that person and he's in absolute elation.
Yeah, sure.
That's his transformation from trying to be a normal person.
So I know
fighting the urges to be evil.
I know this isn't Taxi Driver, but it is, right? Like in Taxi Driver, they showed you that Travis Bickle wanted to shoot somebody, right? Like these weren't meaty big means. It was just like, man, I want to shoot this senator dude or whoever that got a governor, whatever he was running for. I want to shoot somebody. He was eyeballing some black dudes. He was eyeballing a lot of people. Then he meets Harvey Keitel, and you could tell there's a light in his eye, like, you're the one. And so that's more of a like, yeah, this dude is not a great dude. But Joker's kills were justified on the slimmest of margins. If we were in barbaric times, and it's like you had the right to basically challenge me to a duel, let's say, nobody would go, these were evil kills. You'd be like, yeah, that guy shouldn't have done that, and Joker got his justice. Like, so it was more like that kind of logic, not like he just literally, I never got the impression in the beginning that Joker just wanted to kill somebody. He seemed like a nice guy, like a genuinely nice guy. And so I feel like the movie.
That's what I'm saying. He was like coming out of this chrysalis.
I think you people have a lot of Joker baggage they took in with them, but I don't think it was in that movie personally.
He murdered the psychiatrist.
Yeah,
who
off screen.
who was trying to help him.
This is off screen. This is what I'm saying. It didn't. If they would have showed you him killing straight up innocent people in a visceral way, I think people would have a different reaction to this movie. But like I said, most of his kills were pretty much bullies and terrible people. And so if he did kill Zazie Beetz, we didn't see that. If he did kill the psychiatrist, we didn't see that. So it's got that plausible deniability, is what I'm saying.
Plausible deniability. He's walked out with blood on his freaking.
All right. All right.
That was the chrysalis moment.
I'm not disagreeing that he killed him.
Or
I'm saying they didn't emphasize those kills.
I don't think that matters.
Like they did the other ones.
Especially
the Murray one.
Storytelling. I mean, I think the Zazie Beetz thing. I think if he'd have walked out with blood on, I don't know, maybe I don't know. Yeah.
It's ambiguous. Like I said, I'm not arguing that he did crazy kills. I'm just saying they couch most of his kills in a way where you could be like, yeah, I can see that. In movie logic, you could see it. Not in real life, of course not. But in movie logic, like we have a very low. Like I don't like Mike's haircut. I wish he died. Like you know how people are. People are very shallow in movie world, and so let alone being an asshat. Like you're asking to die in a movie if you're being Terry Huddleston on film. Like then, like you're definitely gonna die.
Yeah, I got one.
Trying to make this look cool. I just think you're. I don't know. I can't go with you, man.
Gigantic Android said, "White bullies is just what Hollywood's doing right now." Yeah, they've been doing that's another point of contention is that I hear like anti-Hollywood stuff from the right, and I'm like, dude, Hollywood's been your best tool ever. Like nobody would be afraid of Middle Eastern people, Black people, any other people if it wasn't for Hollywood steadily cranking out. When I say Hollywood, I also include TV in this. Steady diet of like, look how evil, look at like, because all of our frames of reference for the most part of other cultures is from movies, right? Like nobody's been to these countries. We don't know, we know Africa's bad, but we know it's bad from the movies, right? Like dude, you see Black Hawk Down? Like, dude, did you see 24? Like they're scheming and plotting. And so nobody's been a greater friend to the Republican, especially pushing the guns agenda, than Hollywood. So it's funny that they're like, oh, evil Hollywood. And I'm like, man, Hollywood's been awesome for you guys.
Taking down a lot more tourists than before.
Hey, Leah.
See, I told you that was one of those warning shots.
It's not really where I get my perception.
Not you, but come on, man. Like you're telling me all those decades of Clint Eastwood movies are terrible Hollywood elitists. Like, dude, those were the best thing for people that like, see, Charles Bronson. Like they made the gun. Hollywood made guns sexy.
Well, I mean, violence sells. So
so I'm just saying, like, it's not like it's Hollywood's anti-gun. Like, it isn't. Like, I don't think people would have half the guns they have.
Just also hypocrites. There's a difference.
Sure. I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. That's what Ricky Gervais was talking about.
Yeah.
Which that roast was scathing.
Yeah.
But it goes to what I said before. Some people can hate systems and also benefit from them at the same time. It's just like, man, you get no better. Like, I mean, how many 9/11 movies came out that basically just reinforce this, and just Muslim attack movies? Now, I'm not saying one thing or another, but you can't deny that Hollywood definitely educated the people on what they needed to know about a country they were never going to visit. I mean, obviously in the 24-hour news cycle, but it's like a 1-2 punch of propaganda, if you ask me.
Well, all I need to know about Islam is what I learned from the history of Islam.
Well, is that fair though? Because I mean, I could say the history of Christianity and cherry pick all the worst parts.
You don't have to, dude. You can't cherry pick 240 million people being murdered by Islam. That's not cherry picking.
Okay. All right.
Cherry bombing.
All right. You're right. You're right. The Christian death count is 2.
No, it's about 1 million.
It's 2. He's got numbers. He got like a chart right above your computer where you can reference them quickly. Like, we only killed 1 million. We're better.
I'm talking about the Crusades. I'm talking about which is usually the big boogeyman for Christianity.
No. I mean, dude, up until recent times, we were killing people because we thought they were witches. Like, once again, I don't care either way.
That was like 2 dozen people.
Christianity's great, right?
It is.
Christianity's great, right?
Yep.
But I can't stand this whiter than a lamb attitude about Christianity, but everybody else gets the hard magnifying glass. Like, I say look within before you look without.
I don't give Buddhism. I don't give Hinduism. I don't freaking give Wicca the kind of magnifying glass. You don't need a magnifying. 240 million people.
I get you, dude. I'm not Islamic. But I'm also not Christian either, for a reason. Like, I think there is something to be said about somebody that feels like they have the absolute truth. That's where you get these danger zones. But, I don't even know if I want to go down that road. So Irks Y, it says, why do you have this idiot on? So obviously I'm unintelligent because I don't agree with that guy or whatever. But
he's my friend.
Oh, okay. Well, tell your friend to expand his mind.
I'm telling him you're my friend. Expand your mind.
Expand your mind. Because I'm a shop at home kind of guy. Like, for the minute I go, Mike, I think you're a terrible person, and I got this litany of things I could rail against you. Like, there's a little guy in my head going, but dude, like, what kind of person are you? Get the splinter out of your own eye, pretty much, ism. Christianity. See, I just plugged you. I mean, look, it is the template for Western civilization. I'm not an idiot. I know this. And thank goodness for it, because of Christianity, the seeds of a lot of other great things popped out that wouldn't have came out of Islam. Not at all. But that being said, so I can acknowledge the great things about the way things panned out. But there's also an aspect to be said that when we just demonize a whole culture, just carte blanche, like all of them, all bad, all at once, and you don't even you're like cocksure about it, like they're all terrible people.
No,
I'm like, man, that's like, I can't go along with that.
History of Islam. I'm not talking, dude. I've got Muslim friends. It's like, but thankfully they're like cultural Muslims. They're not.
Just like a lot of Christians are more cultural Christians than they are.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Bible, and that's. I'm glad you brought that up, because that's what most Muslim people are, just culturally Muslim. They still want to play video games and eat pork sandwiches and all that other stuff. And so that's why I'm kind of rebutting, because it's dangerous to go, hey, wait a minute, you're Islamic, then you want to, do this and this to women and all this and this, because it's unfair to go, hey, you're Christian, then you want to do this and this. I got to get to know you first before I realize how to, basically attack what you believe in or what you don't believe in. Because not everybody bites the whole sandwich, so to speak. They just take a little bit here, a little bit there. My mom's Catholic, Presbyterian, or whatever, and so that's what I am. And they go on with their lives. Then you have a percentage in every belief system that's like hardcore, and if you don't believe in what I believe, then I'm gonna do a bad thing to you.
Yeah, but hardcore Christians tend to go be missionaries, devote their life to the poor, etc., etc., etc. Hardcore Buddhists will give up all their worldly goods and go study in a monastery for the rest of their life. Hardcore Hindus, I have no idea what they do. Hardcore Muslims fly freaking planes into buildings.
Sure.
There's a big difference between all the other world religions and that particular one.
Sure. Now, are you saying that there's been no hardcore Christian attacks recently?
I'm saying that if you're a hardcore Christian and you believe absolutely in the tenets of Christ, no, you don't go blow things up.
No. That's not answering my question. Have there been people eventually with religious manifestos that says I'm doing this because I feel like there was a guy in,
but they're doing it contrary to the teachings of Christ. If you're doing it in Islam, you're doing it by the direct
and they would argue against that. And I don't want to be the mouthpiece for all of Islam, but I've heard that argued against.
Is in the book.
Well, so was the Old Testament, man. Like a lot of genocides there. Like, come on.
And those were under direct, specific direction. It's not a teaching for all of eternity that put everyone who
the sequel came out and kind of retcon all the hardcore aspects of Christianity.
There's no retcon, man.
And so I actually look at Islam, if there wasn't a sequel to the Old Testament, then you would have had that with the Christian sector as well. Thank goodness this radical cat named Jesus came along and was like, hey, yeah, okay, so you guys are way too religious. Let's calm that down and basically start, preaching truth to powerful people. And it got him killed, and they never really portray it that way. It's always like he came for the world, but he was mostly talking to people that were actually already quote unquote believers in the Bible, let's say, which I know there wasn't a Bible per se, the Torah, excuse me, but which is a slightly different message than he's here to just talk to Gentiles, right? So trust me, I agree with you more than you know, but it's just I think if there was that many hardcore Islamic religious believers, then we would already be blown up, because there's a lot of Islamic faith people on the planet. Like we wouldn't stand a chance if every one of them believed that you could just jihad your way into heaven. They don't.
Here's the thing. There are, and I've talked to Muslims about this, and no, they've all essentially agreed that this is how it works. There's three kinds of Muslims. There's cultural Muslims, like no explanation necessary.
Oh, crap.
There are apocalyptic Muslims who believe that we, as the Muslims, just live and let live, get along, and then when the Mahdi comes, then we start chopping people's heads off and all that kind of stuff, because that's what the Mahdi demands, right? It's all in there. It's just whether or not they believe it. You're supposed to wait until the Mahdi shows up, or your third kind, those who believe they're supposed to change the face of the earth in order for the Mahdi to come.
Right. And I think what we're talking about is Edward Bernays' he pretty much codified it as positive liberty and negative liberty, whereas freedom for something or freedom from something. And every religious group has those tenets. Like, is the Christian walk mandate for you to go out and apostatize others? Or is it for you to basically have a belief system between you and God? Like, there's always going to be a church split, and there's always going to be an apocalyptic version too. Like, well, we're waiting for the rapture, and after that, it's going to be a big war, and Satan's going to come back, and So once again, I'm not disagreeing with you, but it's just like, once again, a lot of major religions. I say a lot of, really, the two. Can't believe we boil down to this. I mean, if you don't count the other smaller ones, they pretty much have similar tenets. It's just we don't have to live by the sword where we're from, which is awesome, amazing. Once again, another New Testament thing, right? But to just basically carte bunch, which is called a whole culture, just like flush them down the toilet. Not saying you're saying that, but I hear that talk a lot. Like, that's insane talk. Because if you ever travel the country, like the whole other part of the country is not Christian, and things aren't just disintegrating like it's Mad Max, a Morton Joe running around, witness, it's not this lawless people that just want to kamikaze you.
Luke Skywalker says, "Do you hell?" Huh? Luke, not Skywalker.
Wait a minute. What is the chat talking about?
I don't know.
I just see somebody says, Victor, unless guys talking about Mike, it doesn't have anything to do with Mike and the KKK. What? Okay.
Wait.
Well,
yeah, Jiminy Cricket says there's zero teaching in the teachings of Christ that support hurting others or violence against others. Christ taught exactly the opposite.
True.
Opie Dog says, "Is this dude Taliban?"
Wow.
No, come on, guys. Terry wins. Josh points for bringing Mad Max into this. Absolutely.
There you go. There you go.
Daniel Carver. All right, let's see. I've been keeping it on this in case anybody else shows up. I can see them in the chat, but I don't see the actual stream.
Oh no.
All right. Minimize. Sorry if you can't explain yourself. I'm not going on a YouTube wild gooch. Oh, your people are arguing with each other.
Somebody call me Terry Ban. Wow. All right. There it is.
Terry's just here to make friends, people.
Actually, you know what? Screw it. Since people are mad, I don't understand how people feel like being a Christian in America is this big edgy move. Like you're subverting expectations by believing in Christ in our country. Like it's like the easiest thing to do where we live. Like if you were over once again in the Middle East with that, then yeah, then I'd be like, hey, dude, you are walking your walk and living your faith.
Oh yeah, we are very spoiled here.
But
we are allowed to express our faith without consequence.
It's true. This is
not
true.
the norm around the planet.
I get to express my lack thereof without with the same impunity as, you know, so that's what's great about our country.
Mm-hmm. God bless America.
And all she contains.
Mm-hmm. God bless America.
But blow up all the other countries. We got to amend that song because that's pretty much where we're at now.
Is it?
Like, let's kill everybody else. Bless us. Hate them.
I'm not quite sure where you're getting that.
We're the best. They need to die. I'm making it up right now. Whole cloth. Nobody believes that. I just made that up.
Yep. That's called straw manning, Terry.
Oh, it is for sure.
Dadgummit, where's my freaking... Oops.
No, you're definitely no orthodox straw man conservative. So I'm not gonna pretend that you are. Just like you can't nail me down. Like I got a bunch of anti-leftist stuff. Like I hate that stuff too. Like let's roll out together. You know, it's just certain points, intersections where I got my own opinions about them.
And you're free to have them, Terry.
Yeah, I mean, there's having opinions for the sake of collecting Pokemons, let's say. Then there's having a philosophy that actually gets you feedback from the actual physical world, like where you're like, you know what, this ideology is causing me to basically come out not ahead in life. And this is why I gave up zealotry altogether, just because I realized that you end up with a whole bunch of people that don't like you, one, and two, when your ideas shift and change, you burned every bridge that could have possibly been there for you. You know, because I'm 42 now, but you know, I was a different guy in my 20s. I believed in different things, and so I'd rather keep the bridge active than to basically be right in this moment about any given thing. But the philosophies I have now at this age are not just something I read in a book and thought up real quick to be like, hey, Terry Huddleston philosophy package. It's like, hey, you know what? This is the stuff that seems to have panned out over these many years. Is that power is going to do what power is going to do, and if we keep fighting over what I consider the little things and not basically looking within, we're going to always have a problem about not seeing the big things when they do show up at our doorstep, which is, drug epidemics, and our kids are getting dumber than ever, because school systems let them down.
Mm-hmm.
You only can fight so many battles, right? So it's like, where are you going to put your energy and time into? Like debating people that don't agree with you, or actually making sure your kids have a real world education that they could use to get ahead in life?
All right. I can agree to that.
Terry was a commie. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, I hate to throw this out there to anybody, but before you go to saying I'm unpatriotic, I served my country. Did 6 years in the military, so you can take that and stuff it right up where with that.
Is Terry a heathen? Terry?
Yeah. Oh, yes, for sure. I will gladly take that moniker. Who the heck even knows what that means? That's not even a word. That sounds like a cool metal band, like heathen in cool Gothic letters. Like that's the same.
It's got to be something else. It's got to be like heathen blood or heathen flow.
We gotta let the young kids come up with a new word for unbelievers. They'll come up with something cool. Because we got, are you a Gentile? Like, are you a heathen unbeliever?
Asuka says he likes you, or she likes you. He or she likes you. You spice things up.
And that's all I'm here for, just to bring a little bit of cinnamon to this oatmeal.
Sunshine. Little bit of sunshine.
Where?
So are you still working on the?
Do they come from the water?
The Lionel, or are you back?
Actually, I did work on it some more after the fact and rearrange some things, and then now I'm working on I'm got some comic book pages I'm doing for a client, and I told her I would have the layouts done this week. I gave her that nebulous sometime this week. So I gotta get them done because we're rounding on Thursday, so gotta be responsible.
Jeez, I can't believe it's almost Thursday.
Exactly. That's what happens when you're up all night and sleep all day. I'm talking about myself, by the way, not throwing shade at you.
No, I slept too much. I'm undisciplined when it comes to getting out of bed.
Then again, what are you gonna do? Fire yourself? You're your own boss.
I know.
That's what's great about our job.
It's weird. I have this weird thing. It's like if my wife is in the bed, I don't want to get out of bed. But if she's not there, it's like, yeah.
I can't sleep. I get the weird, like, I joke. I was like, my wife has to be in the box, at least in the house. Like, if my wife isn't in the house,
what's in the box?
When I go to bed, then I'm like, I'm on Jack Bauer, Liam Neeson 24-hour alert.
Yeah.
All right. I might be called on my specific set of skills. She's there laughing.
Is she right there?
Yeah, she's in the next room.
Tell her to come on. She's scared.
But I really admonish people. And I know this, I feel like I might be screaming into the wind here. Like, because I know it does something to your blood. Like, you get adrenaline pumping when somebody says something you don't agree with. But that should also let you know that if you're getting, like, where blood vessels are popping out of your head, then that's a weakness that you have, because that a person that's less caring can just basically say all the things. Actually, that's what I feel like Trump's superpower is. in a good way. Like he knows exactly what to say to get people to self-destruct. Like it's insane. Like I was like, you guys, like you listen to the words he says, and they'll say, failing, blah blah blah, and they're like mad typing response. Like you just fell for his trap, like that. Like
Terry, he literally wrote "Kofefi" and they imploded.
Yep. Yep. That's what I'm talking about. Like it's insane how much power people can give over to themselves if they can learn not to care. Like shit, ask me how many times I've been mad at him.
Hey man,
recently, because I don't even listen to the guy. I'm like, you know what? I'm having a nice 65-degree day in my brain because I'm watching cartoons and listening to Mike Miller podcast. Yeah, I just plugged you right there. Or whatever I'm doing instead of basically waiting for the next thing he's gonna say that's gonna piss me off. And it could go either other way. If you're on the other side of the fence, it's like people were just waiting for Obama to say something to drive him up. Well, it was like a drug addiction. Like, okay, what's he gonna say? Oh, he said this thing, and it's yeah, I'm so upset. It's like, once again, life's too short to be that triggered all the time.
It's outrage culture. It gets clicks. It gets ad revenue. It's
Yeah. I don't think it's healthy personally, man. I think it's probably worse than cigarettes being like that type of angry all the time, man. Like it can't. I don't have any numbers and studies, but it can't be good for you.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Wand. Whoops. What's happening here? Inverse.
Now, what's crazy though, if you stop watching the news and you happen to, it happens to be on somewhere, they're talking about the same junk they were talking about, a month ago when you tuned in. Like there's nothing new that they're saying that you have to be there 24 hours a day getting the same info over and over and over. And people are like, well, I'm mad about this. Well, I'm mad that he's mad. It's just like, it's like I said, if you can quit cold turkey, quit news. It's not good, folks.
Yeah, the 24-hour news cycle, like I said, man, it's profit driven, so it's not a duty anymore. You know what I mean?
No, not at all. And like I said, the news has always been on a slippery slope of, this, that, and the other. And then around the time with the Watergate scandal, it kind of legitimized itself. Like, look, the news could be a source of power for the little man, bringing down powerful entities. But I feel like they've been hooked on that crack ever since. Of like, we're gonna find something. Something's there. We're gonna find it. But which is, I think, why the Slick Willie Clinton scandal went down like it did. So it's like, we got something. We got another gate that we can put. If they put gate on everything. That's how proud they are of Watergate. Like, it's Mike Gate. It's Terry Gate. It's Colgate.
It's Comics Gate.
It's actually, that's a real one. That's a real one.
I know, dude. I was a part of it.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah. Explain so I can shut up.
Nah, it's not worth it.
All right. Well, I'm talking. Literally, you had your chance. But no, it's all good. It's all good.
Talk about it on the channel anymore because it's
no. You don't have to relitigate that, man.
It's troll food.
Yeah, no, don't do it. Don't do it. So anyway, yeah, there's we just always want to kind of do gotcha moments on institutions. It's kind of like our thing. I think the word is Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude. We love to see the failure of others that we're against, and we actually, I think the other side of that though is it's more painful to see our side take a hit too. So that psychology is in full swing with these current last two administrations. But I got off the dopamine.
Yeah. All right. That means somebody is the wrong size.
I'll tell you what, man, over the past 5 years, I think I haven't been more disappointed in anybody than I have myself. I'm really hard on myself, when it comes to, getting better and just pushing myself out of my own comfort zones. And I just realized that most of the time I'm my own problem. Like I'm the biggest problem in my life. Like you can change everything around me and I'm still me. And until I make a change, then, I'm still going to be stuck in my ways. And so.
Did you say till you make a
change? And so I got Neverland Ranch and started inviting people. Now I'm joking. Anyway, so yeah, I think if I was to push some sort of for a loose term religion, it'd definitely be self-introspection. Just get in there, figure out what's making you so angry about.
That is what confession is about.
Oh, I know. There's a lot of Eastern philosophy in Christianity.
Practical, Eastern philosophy. It's confession has been a part of. That's why David was a man after God's own heart, because he.
Oh yeah, he has some of the best. The Psalms.
His crap,
Yeah.
He looked inside and he was convicted that what he had done was wrong, and he was repentant, and that's confession.
Yeah, no, he has some beautiful Psalms. And what's funny is I think it's Solomon's got like the sexy Psalms. Where it's like they attribute it to him anyway, where it's like your breasts are like a bushel of grapes. Let me. I'm like,
Song of Solomon.
I'm loving this. Okay, Solomon. But no, yeah, I told you before in another talk that David is the coolest character in the Bible. Like, whether you believe or unbelieve, like you got I can't believe he's not more of a mainstream archetypal character that's more movies are made about his life, so to speak, because it has it all, man. The rise and fall. I mean, it's like the Martin Scorsese movie of the Bible, pretty much. It's like
Did you see the one with Richard Gere as David?
I did. That nope. Nope. No, and that might be why they never made any more, because that movie was such a off the mark thing. I mean, people treat it with kid gloves, but I think if you did it like The Sopranos, which I actually, once again, if you look at Sopranos, was a kind of it was almost biblical in the way it was told. Like it was larger than life, and it definitely had a lot of parables on how to not live a terrible life and pay the consequences if you saw it right. Otherwise, you just see a powerful guy doing powerful guy stuff. Mm-hmm. But I saw it as a Bible, like a modern day Bible story.
Oh gosh, I gotta do some sort of a background smoke.
I mean, you could do like an explosion. Like radiating lines.
Girl, I had all this smoke stuff on the other pages when they were transforming, so I kind of just want that to be like where they're coming from, like just some sort of a big circular smoky thing, like they're just all teleporting together.
Oh, Quinn jumped in there.
Oh,
yeah, he jumped in through. He literally has a monkey wrench in his thing too. That's great.
Bernie 2020.
That's great.
Why you cause trouble, Queen?
No. I think I definitely did a good enough job of that.
All right, let me reduce that. Create another layer.
More anti-air units.
Turn everybody off. Off.
That guy in the front looks like Invincible.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he just took him off now, but
yeah.
Love that book.
I liked it in the beginning, but like some of I have an omnibus number 4. I was trying to read it, and I'm like, oh man, he's just phoning it in.
Well, you talking about art wise, or because
the story?
Art guy, really good.
The art's fantastic. I love it. Ryan's freaking fantastic.
You're talking about Kurtman.
Yeah.
I'm so stupid. It took me so long to realize what it was because I took the misdirect that it was a Spider-Man / Superman book. I'm like, okay. Then I realized, wait a minute, he's just doing American manga. It's Dragon Ball Z. And Invincible's Goku, and then the Voltrumites are the Saiyans that are coming. Like, how come you haven't taken over the planet yet? I'm like, wait a minute, he's just doing American manga. Genius.
Yeah, it was funny. Somebody was saying they don't like superheroes, and I'm like, do you like manga? Because it's all superheroes. It's just they're in ninja school or they're in whatever other situation, but it's all freaking people with superpowers, whatever the hell they're wearing or whatever. It's like it's just a different flavor of superheroes. They may not be wearing tights, but it's all the same story.
I mean, it's literally about one word: transformation. Right? If your story is about transformation, which every story is about transformation, for the most part, not every single one, but especially in the superhero genre, we crave seeing people struggle, overcome, and then transform into higher versions of themselves.
That's the basis of storytelling.
Yeah, man, I know.
If your hero hasn't made some sort of a change, life altering change, then the story was meaningless, was purposeless.
Well, there's another way that can be done too. Like sometimes a hero, if you're doing a Christ trope, then the hero doesn't change, but the world changes. The world around the hero changes. Like Superman doesn't change, but the people around Superman should be changing. Like, man, you know what? He gives me hope. Not just modern Superman, but just that archetype. I was watching a video on Paddington Bear and how he never changes, but he changes this environment. And I was like, that's a pretty good point. Because every time I hear you can't write a good Superman, it just drives me up a wall. It's like, I think I will say probably ongoing, it's probably tough to do a Superman story. But the best ones are the one shots, or they're self-contained, where they can contextualize his power.
What's so good about Truth, Justice, and the American Way?
Nothing.
No. Oh, you haven't read that?
Oh, you said it's a book. I'm like, Mike, what are you trying to bait me, man? Like, I didn't say anything like that. Oh, yeah. No, I haven't read that. Who wrote that?
I forget. Doug Mankey did the artwork. But, man, that is... It's basically Superman goes up against an analog of the Authority, right? The Authority is like, we'll do whatever it takes to do our thing, and we're all... we're all just, superheroes deconstructed to the nth degree.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's the Authority. And then he goes up against this analog and they beat the freaking snot out of him because they can. But then he has to figure out a way, right, to put these people back. I don't want to say under control, but because they essentially become fascistic, right? And it's like, you can't just come in and take people's freedom away. And so he figures out a way to do it without killing him, because that's their thing. Like, you can't kill us. We're going to do whatever we want to you, right? It's a really good story. You should check it out. I can't remember who wrote it though. Came out around the year 2000. It was like
now, when you say analog of authority, what you talking about
the comic book?
The comic book, yeah, with the kind of Batman and Superman archetype guys.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. When I watch The Boys, I think of that book too, even though I shouldn't, but I can't help but think of the Midnighter and all that stuff.
Yeah, I did two of the last issues of The Authority.
I did not know that. I told you already, man. You're gonna take this as shameless sucking up, but I was already a fan of you before I met you. Savage Garden. I knew I loved you before I met you. See, my wife even backed me up. She said it's true.
Merriam-Webster, at a time preceding
See?
earlier than.
That's weird. My phone just answered me. I told you, man, they're always listening.
Wow.
You did love Mike.
Gigantic Android said Mark Miller wrote that Superman. Cool. Good writer.
I liked why am I blanking? The Superman story. Oh, All-Star Superman, I think is what it is. One where he's dying.
Isn't that Greg Morrison?
Yeah, I like that story a lot. And because it finally pled the case for Lex Luthor. It actually convinced me, like, yeah, we shouldn't concede our well-being to an alien that isn't human. Like, not even from this planet. Because if he decides that he's done with us and we put all of our structure on him, then, we're in trouble as a species. So I was like, man, you know what, Lex? I ain't never really got down with your philosophy, but that one makes a whole lot of sense. That we shouldn't cede all of our power. And I think even Superman agreed with him in the end. Like, he's right. I basically have to empower human beings instead of just basically being a centralized power. So I thought that was interesting.
They made that into an animation, didn't they?
I didn't want those animations. Always let me down. They're not bad if you never read the books, but I remember Killing Joke and all that. Man, that really soured me.
Terrible.
Yeah, that soured me on those animations.
Yeah.
Not to be that guy, but the book was better. And it didn't have no Barbara Gordon craziness in it. I'm like, why are y'all even doing this? Plot line. You know about it, right? I don't want to.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't even have to say what it is, but not cool. It's like, what are you doing?
All right, let's turn these guys on and end this page. There you go.
There it is.
There it is. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna delete the box. Oh,
Yeah.
G. Expand.
Nothing.
There it is.
What's the group called?
I haven't nailed it down exactly, but I was gonna go with the Mighty Right.
The space is gone.
I thought you'd do some form of MAGA.
The MAGA. The MAGA. No.
The mightiest.
If I'm open to suggestions, I don't really need it to be, my idea. I'm looking for
mightiest a-holes gaining affluence. No, I'm joking. But I don't know. Some form of something. The MAG is it how many people is it? The MAG 5? The MAGA 6? Oh, did you rework that Laura Ingraham? Or no, these aren't the initial images when they first appeared, right?
Yeah, no. This is the next.
Okay, because I thought these were just those you just cropped. Never mind then. I was like, wait a minute, that Laura Ingraham was a different pose last time.
Yeah.
Reinforcing the base.
Any ideas? MAGA Avengers? I don't think I want to do that. Come on, guys. I need suggestions here.
All right, chat. Give them some names. For the so is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Yeah. Oh, 7. So you could do the MAGA 7. With MAGA then with a 7 that's a different font. Actually, because you could run the MAGA along the flat side of the 7 and integrate it all together.
No, but quarterback is just kind of a sidekick.
Oh, dang, man. 6s don't work. 6 just ruins everything.
Maybe is no one answering me? It's terrible.
Like flip to shoot, I gotta share my screen.
Drawing MAGA. Oh, that's the old one.
Yeah, if you could pop my screen up real quick, you'll see what I mean.
What the heck?
Crap, here we
Drawing
go
MAGA?
again.
That's not working. Hold on, let me find it. I know it's here somewhere. What the heck? I have a bunch of old windows open. That's what's driving me nuts. All right.
Something like that. You know what I mean? It's like a
Yeah.
self-contained deal. You get a fancy 7 or something like that.
MAGA Team 6. I got nothing, Mike. Dakota Clark says, hey! Victor says, you can name them Victor Rodriguez 7.
The conservative 7. I kind of like that.
So you don't like the mighty right? I think right just is easier than conservative.
Well, the mighty right has like a things like a punch. Like it's the mighty right punch.
That's not right. There's no one minus one right here. Is that still alive?
The mighty right. The mighty right. The third right. No, wait a minute. So I did that on purpose. I like the conservative 7. That just has that old timey feel to it. You know, when they were coming up with names, they were always cheesy.
Yeah.
Like, the Fantastic Four.
That's
I guess the mighty right is cheesy as well.
Yeah, it is a little cheesy. I'm okay.
In a good way. In a good way.
It's supposed to be like a lark, you know. It's not supposed to be a serious thing. Although, I kind of really do like this page.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my reworked Lion-O.
Lion-O.
He doesn't have a sword in his face. That was so dumb looking.
Yeah.
It's no wonder I came in dead last. But these are the pages I'm working on.
The
else for
Magnificent 7.
Oh, hey. There's something to be said about that. There's something to be said about that.
Despondent 7. Magnificent 7. Oh, I might do that. Because there is one other guy. So I don't have to count the side.
Yeah, I like that. The Despondent 7. Look, at least I'm pretending to be supportive. the Despondent 7.
Yeah, Victor, I said that and right through said it. Magnificent 7. I think that's it.
Yeah, I like it.
Classic. That's golden.
And I don't even like those guys that I like it. That fits with because you can basically do a shiny MAGA and then Efficient and a different, you know what I mean, to make it stand out. Yeah. Why do I keep helping you? You should make it out of wood. Like it should be a wooden front. I'm going to start working against you.
Look at this piece, Terry.
No, it's dope. Flip your screen back on. You still got me on.
Oh. Don't tell me you're not going to read this book.
I'm going to flip through it. I think I get what it does. I think I get what it's about. Hey, dude, I always loved your art, man. You know,
Idris Gilder says, my idea. 1. Thank you, Idris. Idris. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Terry. Thank you. Let's see. What? Jump in, dude. And before I close the stream. Yeah.
What are you talking to?
I'm trying to get Oli in here just to say hi.
Huge.
There it is. Oli sounds like such a Russian name. You must get Oli in here.
Hi, Oli.
My wife says hi to Oli.
Oli is not here yet. What's she saying?
She said that Oli saved her at the airport from a long wait.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. TDS Brigade. No. I have to repay you as soon as a month. I got you. All right. Where is my other page? There. Is that it? No, that's this page. It is.
So yeah, actually, even though I came in dead last, this Lionel is gonna be sweet. I'm glad you had that as a subject matter because I would have never started this bad boy.
Yeah.
So
Do you not have a Lionel?
I have a really old one.
Oh, really?
Really old one. Yeah, it's about time for me to do a new one. I actually just got asked for one
Yeah, he puts it in.
randomly, so it was like on the back of my mind too.
It's about that time.
It's about that time.
It's Lionel
Usually
time.
puts most of the
I'm gonna have to find a good font for
Drop
this.
box.
Magnificent 7.
Dude, you gotta use something block and like square it off like just something chunky, but then I almost feel like the efficient part can be fancy, and then 7 has to be like, slick. It has to be like a metal almost.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna share this out. I'm gonna share it. I know when you share things at 12:47 in the morning, that's when you get the most attention. But that's just when I do. I could do it tomorrow, I guess. I get so impatient. I just want to show things.
Hey, you love your craft, man.
It's
And
true.
so that's a great sign at this day and age, and how long you've been doing this, man. Another drawing of Men in Tights. You're like, hey, this is my latest and my greatest. I feel that way about I just did a piece really for me. I just got this. Well, if you want to switch back to my screen, I love this character in manga. His name's Guts, and I literally just got this wild hair to just draw this over a weekend, and it totally derailed what I was supposed to be doing. The stuff I'm doing now is what I was supposed to be doing when I was drawing this, but I just couldn't stop. I literally was controlled by the art gods. Just like, hey, you know what? You're gonna get this out of your system, because it's a piece I struggled with to lay out. Like, I needed a powerful layout. He's got a sword that's basically 6 foot long and maybe 2 feet wide, but it's in universe weird. Like, the people in this book go, how the heck is he even holding this thing? As opposed to every pretty boy anime you see, that's not a big deal. In this universe, it's like if this guy showed up in Game of Thrones, everybody has those type of weapons, and then you got one guy with a slab of iron that's 6 foot long and can swing it with one hand. And yeah, I actually really recommend the book if you're a Game of Thrones fan. You dig Berserk. I'm gonna also claim, just like I did with Dragon Slayer, that George R. R. Martin definitely read this book, because it came out. It's been around since the 80s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a long running book.
Comics.
So yeah, I mean, you will dig it just for the art alone. It's gorgeous art. So, but anyway, I mean, you will dig it just for the art alone.
Hey.
It shows up. I'm winding down.
I
Brother.
know you're about to leave. Yeah, I just wanted to come on and be like, hey, what's up?
Actually, Quinn, I'm so glad you're here.
2020.
I'm so glad you're here, man.
Indeed.
It was so crazy. The stuff I watched literally all pertained to that non-Star Trek argument debate we were having that night. Like, so
Really?
I watched Cloud Atlas.
Good
And
movie. Well,
it was a good movie, and I actually never seen it before.
Really good book. The book
And
is
I thought-
way crazier.
I thought to myself, one, this is how Dune the movie would kind of have to be filmed.
Yeah, because it's like a crazy, like way too epic story. Like
Oh,
Cloud
dude.
Atlas, when that movie got made, no one thought it would get made because it's like so epic and crazy and huge.
Quinn,
And like
you
the
don't even
book manages to
understand.
capture all of it. The book is like so detailed and crazy. I
You
love
don't
that.
understand how nervous I was coming to you, the Dune guy, with this. I was like, man, he could either be like, man, that movie's crap, Terry Huddleston, go jump off a bridge.
I mean, the movie. I mean,
It's
just
not, no, it's not
it's
perfect.
good. I like it.
It's not perfect. That makeup is a bad move.
Uh-huh.
They have you seen Cloud Atlas, Mike?
No.
They do
It's-
like some race changing makeup.
They pretty much do yellow face is what it's called. That's the term. I didn't make this up. And but it's so terrible. It's scary looking.
But
Rooney.
they also have the Asian girl like as a white woman though.
As
They
a white
make the
woman,
Asian
and
girl-
Halle Berry. Yeah, and Halle Berry is a white woman. But they didn't do blackface.
No, they weren't gonna go there. They're
They
like, let's
stopped
not do
this
that
short
one.
of making because they might as well had.
I mean, they didn't need to because that's not a part of the book. So it's
Yeah,
like, why go there if like you don't if you don't
Yeah,
need
it's like, you never go full blackface.
No,
I mean-
that didn't bother me.
Mike, you don't know what Cloud Atlas is. So basically the idea is like people are being reincarnated. So it's like multiple, it's like told over like hundreds and hundreds of years and multiple souls in different lifetimes that interact in different lifetimes. And it's about like karma and how like you do something bad in your past life and you're paying for it in like a future life. It's crazy. I love it. I love it.
But it's so absurd, and I can't believe they pull it off.
It mixes so many genres. It's like
It really does. Like you're
science,
watching Blade Runner, like Treasure Island combined with Aaron Brockovich.
It's like you're watching like a period piece from like the 1800s suddenly, like a pirate movie suddenly. It's like so much. I love it.
How long is this movie?
It's a pretty long movie.
It's long, dude. It is long.
But
But
the
I
book-
enjoyed it though.
I'll have to check it out. I've honestly I've never heard anybody even talk.
It's got Tom Hanks. It's
Yeah, I
got
know.
freaking Halle Berry. It's got a lot of like A-listers.
It actually gets. Only reason I've heard about it because it gets made fun of a lot in like Rick and Morty type pop culture stuff like that. And so I've always had a negative view of it. Like, oh, let me. I literally watch it to kind of just laugh at it. Like, let me watch this abomination. And halfway through, I'm like, dude, they're kind of playing 4-dimensional chess with this movie. Like,
I think people hated on that first because like it's so hard to capture that book. Like that book,
Yeah.
I would recommend anybody to like read the book before watching the movie. So then like if you'll recognize the problems in the movie, but then you'll see where it's coming from. You'll be like, okay, I get what they were doing.
I mean, but yeah, I literally was like, I gotta see if Quinn, because when we were talking about like our what if scenarios, what if happens if it's a liberal utopia or dystopia or this, like they deal with all the different utopias.
Okay, I know you want to leave, but like in one of the distant futures, right? It's like corporations have like taken over everything. So like movies, like let's say you're watching a film, it's just referred to as a Disney. It's like, oh, I'm gonna watch a Disney on my Sony. Like if you have a mobile device, it's just called a Sony. And then this is a really cool part of it. Like, so you see like these like clone women that are like working at this restaurant thing, and you're like, and it's like their whole life, right?
Yep.
You're like, what is this restaurant? You're like wondering what it is. And like at the chapter where she's escaping, it finally tells you, but it's like she looks back at the golden arches of her home, and it was a McDonald's the entire time. And I was like, oh my God. That's not in the movie, it's in the book, but like
it's heavily implied in the movie. It's satirized in the movie. But because you can tell by the way the logo looks, like if you squint hard enough.
McDonald's will have clone slave workers in the future.
But then I gotta spoil this part too. This is a part of everything. It's like you find out basically that they're feeding the clones back themselves. That's their food. Like
you
they
should have
basically
Green in it.
sort of,
should've-
but only for well, yeah, I think other humans were eating them too, but for like recreational purposes.
Oh, that's
They would be like, "Hey, you're eating some soap," is what they called it, but it wasn't seen like it was the primary food of what they call them, natural born. Anyway, dude, what's crazy? This is just one little storyline. Like it's got like 8 that are nuts. But yeah, so yeah, Quinn, it's like a miracle because I was like, I want to see if you would agree or disagree that Dune should be filmed in this kind of way. Like that'd be sweet.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
Yeah. Cloud Atlas is a really good story.
So Quinn, what do you think about the Magnificent Seven?
I'm into it. So like explain the characters to me. So who's all here?
Okay, you have Shep Hero, who can talk and run at extraordinary speeds.
Perfect.
You have the strange animal, who
Steven
obviously
Crowder.
feral powers. I don't know. I should have something more related
My hero.
to him, but he's huge, dude. Crowder's like buffed, so I thought, oh, he'd be cool. And then obviously you have with the incredulous stare, you have Deadhead,
Mr. Tucker Carlson.
Tucker Carlson as Deadhead. Then behind him you have Dr. Savage. Dr. Savage, which you can't really see in this image because it's kind of covered. Well, you can see it a little bit here. Michael Savage is a like a botanist or something. I can't remember. He dealt with a lot of plants. He actually discovered a lot of nutritional things in plants and stuff way back in his earlier careers. And so I was like, I'm gonna make him kind of like a poison ivy meets, Reed Richards or something.
Interesting.
He uses plants to do stuff.
But he's not sexy.
He's not sexy, no. Then you have the Ingrahammer. Goes without saying, she's sort of Thor-esque. And she brings down the Ingrahammer on people to change them. And then you have, with his rapier wit, El Rushbow.
Cool.
That's it, man.
Seeing her with the hammer reminds me of when I was a kid and I was reading Marvel comics. There was a scene where Storm picks up Thor's hammer. And it's all like awesome. Because Storm is one of the few that can like lift the hammer.
All right.
Yeah, they had a full-on crossover where I think it was Storm, Thor, and Wonder Woman kind of merged together.
I think so. It's been so long. I haven't read Marvel comics in years.
What, you mean the amalgam comic?
Yeah, I think in an amalgamation she might have had. No, I think it was just Storm and Wonder Woman combined. But I think there's a Storm Thor mashup too. I've seen the.
Yeah, I know for a fact that I remember Storm lifting the hammer and then it being a big deal.
That's right. Steven Crowder is Canadian, so maybe he's part Sasquatch.
I thought you were saying that's right, agreeing with what we were saying.
Oh no, no,
Steven Crowder is Canadian.
It's Crowder. It's Crowder. Yeah, no, Thor's Canadian. So
Canadian Thor.
Raven says 34 watching now. Yeah, that's pretty low, but it was a drawing stream, so. What do you want? Drawing streams. It's funny because I want to make it primarily an art channel, but doing drawing streams. I need to do like produced illustrating stuff. Terry, you should start recording all the stuff you're drawing, like on OBS, and uploading those as videos on YouTube.
We should. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Mike, we should like host an event where you like maybe like draw some more art for Toddy on your channel, and then I'll just promote it and be like, we're having this stream on Mike's channel.
Oh,
come over here.
Do that.
Do that. I don't know if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet.
He's totally into it.
I need to do the next Game of Thrones cover too. I don't know if you saw that in the chat.
Okay. Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah. So
wait a minute. What are you talking about?
I've been doing the recent. I do all the covers for the Game of Thrones Clash of Kings, and I've been doing them the digital breakdown. I've been doing them live on Order of the Green Hand, but I was like, we could move that around too if you wanted to.
That's cool.
But I don't know, Quinn. You don't really like doing live streams on your channel that much, huh?
I have to. I mean, not like too often, but I'll do them. But I want to get a better live streaming setup. Like I really want like a better camera and just like more consistent like streaming equipment. Because I don't know.
Camera.
I just want a more. I want it to. I mean, because I have my regular videos, and they're like really high quality, and then I do a stream, and then it's like this blurry camera. So I really want to like kind of like upgrade, and then when I start doing streams, like really start doing streams, I want to have like a really like nice camera, so you can really see like the nice setup and the lighting, so that it looks good and it looks like super professional and pro.
A lot of people are recording with SLRs now.
Yeah, because I see certain people and their streams just look so good, like on Twitch and stuff, and I'm like, I want to achieve like that with a stream. And I think I need more than just like $100 like Logitech web camera. So I want to put research into it and see exactly how I would do it.
Somewhere a Logitech employee just dropped dead. Like,
I have two of the same Logitech web camera.
I know, I got one too.
Yeah, I got a Logitech camera, and I got the one that came with my laptop. I think I've had that exact same one. Like,
Yeah, it's a good camera.
it is a good camera.
Should
It's a working man's camera.
How do we get it to go 720 though? I don't understand if that's just the programs. It must be the programs because it's supposed to be 1080.
I do have a 1080p one, but it's like it's not. It still doesn't like look 1080p. It looks like a webcam, So it's like,
maybe it's only 1080 when you're recording.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you know what you could do is if you're running this. Are you running everything on OBS?
XSplit.
XSplit. Does that allow you to record and stream at the same time?
Yes, it does.
Well, then you could record your stream, and then after your stream is done, you could just re-upload it.
Yeah, take it down and edit it and re-upload it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that I could do. For sure.
Terry, did you just... Oh, you deleted your stream.
Yeah, I just
Oli in here to say hi, but Oli says he's in bed. Oh, whatever, dude.
I mean, it is 4 a.m. where I'm at. So
Yeah.
It's 4 a.m.
It's 4 a.m. Got up. He's got some videos to make, so
I have a weird sleep schedule.
yeah.
Dude, I was just telling Mike, man, we're our own bosses, man. You do what you want to do.
That's right.
I mean, exactly. Like, I will not be like bound to your conception of day and night.
Plus, nobody bothers you in the middle of the night. Like, it is the freest time you're gonna be. Like, everybody is literally
nobody
dead to the world.
bothers Quinn at all because he's in a cabin hidden in the woods somewhere with 12 Alexas surrounding his house protecting him.
Yep.
That sounds like the plot to what was that Ex Machina?
Basically, I feel like Dr. Manhattan, like, because like people, I'll like forget what day it is. It's like time is an illusion to me. Like, literally.
Oh no.
It doesn't matter. It's
Hey, Quinn, do you know who Nerdrotic is?
yeah, I know that channel.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he said he saw me on your channel.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, yeah, dude, Quinn's on my channel all the time. He's like, tell him I said I love his show.
Really?
Yeah, he's
That's awesome. I didn't even know he liked me. That's cool as crap. I just know it.
dude.
That's freaking sweet.
Yeah, I listen to Nerdrotic too. He's
Yeah.
but pretty much when the Game of Thrones imploded, that's when I discovered all you guys for the most part. Like
Uh-huh.
I was looking for hate.
I'm always like super freaking shocked when a YouTuber like likes my channel. Like when
Dude,
me
it's
and Mike were
solid.
streaming, this YouTuber that I like, Exerbia, popped in the chat. And I was like, is Exerbia in the freaking chat? And he was like, hi. And I was like, what? Because I watch his videos like all the time. And it's like, you know who I am. What the freaking frick?
Hey man, you are the authority on the stuff that you're an authority about. Like you're not like a lot of people just regurgitate the same info. And I'm not trying to blow your head up or nothing, but like you have like you're like a damn scientist nerd. Like, okay, when I want like pure distilled facts about a certain subject matter, that's not just a bunch of because you don't raise your voice, you're not like ranting and raving and angry and here's why right the Skywalker sucks for 10 reasons ding, you're not doing that. You're like, I could see you on like XM radio or something. Like you got that level of professional quality that people like me, I'm not looking to be angrified to make up a word by whatever somebody didn't like. You'll break down why you didn't like it or why you love it in such a professional way that it's like, all right.
I do try.
You more than try. You succeed, man. Because Dune is not an easy thing to just be talking about, man.
No, it's
Like,
not.
It's not. It's not like Star Wars, like in the Force and Luke Skywalker. Like you gotta like explain like 8 things to talk about one thing. So.
All right, Terry. Show your fanboy. Your fanboy.
I am.
Quinn, I'm gonna try to get you and Gary on a stream together.
Me and Gary?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Nerdrotic.
Oh,
that's his name. I didn't even know his first name. Okay. I thought you meant like
I literally met him before I watched any of his videos.
Really?
You I don't know if you ever watched Geeks and Gamers.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think so. Mhm.
Okay, well, I met up with him at San Diego Comic-Con, and then we went and met up with Gary, And then he was like, "Oh man, yeah, Gary's awesome. You got to start watching him." So I started watching Gary. It's like, but we hung out at San Diego this last year, and that's how I know him.
Where do you
So
think those fine guys at?
Yeah, those guys got a YouTube gang, man. Him, Mahler, was it Geek Gamers, whatever. Those guys, like they roll in a pack, man. Like, so if you attack one, like they all come at you, man. It's crazy.
World Class PSers and all those guys.
Yeah, they will.
But Gary, out of all of those guys, well, Mahler's super intelligent.
Doom, Cock, I think is his name. Is the other guy.
Yeah, I think Nerdrotic and Doomcock do a show on Sundays. The Inquisition.
Yeah.
The Inquisition. Yeah. Let's begin.
He's pretty good too.
But no, Gary, freaking that dude knows everything about nerd culture from every freaking angle. So it's like, yeah, he's good. He's good. But yeah, if you want, I can try to touch that.
Kralizak, the mythic battle at the end of time.
There it is.
I'm just being weird. Just ignore it.
Hey man, you got that SMR voice, man. It just calms you down. Like you just saw the crazy stuff I was talking about before you showed up, Quinn. You just you're like a Benny Gesserit your damn self.
How crazy.
Using the voice on me. Oh man, I thought he dropped out. Like, I finally lost him.
No, that's called an awkward silence.
I did one too many suck ups. It all fell apart on me.
Oh man.
All right, it is 1:08.
It is 1:08. It is 4:08, my friend, in the Midwest.
Well, it's 4:08 where Quinn is too. But
oh, dude, just one thing. Do you remember I was telling you about Elizabeth Warren and stuff? Well, there was the audio leaked to when she went up to him.
Oh, really?
Bernie. She said, "I think you just accused me of being a liar on national television." And he's like, "What?" And she's like, "I think you just accused me of being a liar on national television." And he's like, "Well, you accused me. Wait, let's not do this here. Let's not do this here." And they just walked away. And then the idiot billionaire guy just walks up and he goes, "Bernie, I just went to say hi." And Bernie goes, "Well, hi, thank you," and walks away.
Pretty good Bernie, man.
Yeah. Well, CNN leaked the audio. They're like, "We obtained the audio to our own microphones." Like, you didn't obtain it, you just had it. What do you mean? But yeah, that's what became of that.
That's epic. All right. Quinn, you want to do something tomorrow night?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Let's figure it out.
All right, we'll figure it out. Terry, Quinn, thank you for being here. I'm gonna see you guys later. I hope
it's so late. You get to bed, Mike. It's so late.
Hey, I gotta get up to 7:00 in the morning.
I gotta get up 3 hours from now, my time. I get it. Goodbye.
I have high blood pressure, Terry. I have to sleep. You stop that.
It's not that. It's just I can't feel like it's 1:08 here, so I gotta toodaloo, guys.
Program. We've got some lovely filth down here.
Darn it, that's the wrong one. Hold on a second.
Shut up! Will you shut up? Now we see the violence inherent in the system. Shut up! Oh, come and see the violence inherent in the system. Help! I'm